Good evening, everyone. This is Rochelle Wilhite, the designated broker for Best Choice Realty. We're going to go ahead and get started here. Just give me about 30 seconds. Let me adjust my headset. Okay, we're going to be covering conference call number 5 tonight, pre-approval power. There was 2 attachments that were sent with the conference call invite today, and the one I'm looking at it right now is an older version, the questions. Might give you some good talking points when you're meeting with lenders and trying to establish a relationship with them, such as what is loan to value, LTV. So if you want some answers to some of those questions on the quiz, or there's something that you're going through, you're not sure about, option number 1, 2, 3, all the way down the line, let me know. But there's obviously a lot more questions you can ask lenders to show that you are knowledgeable about the process. But that's more of a takeaway. The pre-approval power checklist is what I want to spend a good bulk of time with tonight. A lot of you are fairly new or maybe getting back into the business, and this loan pre-approval checklist will help you when you're working with a lender and working with a buyer to discuss, the process and what do you do now that you've got the lender doing the loan. I don't care if you're using a buyer's lender or maybe you're using a credit union. A process checklist will ensure that you're not missing something. You're not licensed to do loans here at Best Choice. You're licensed to facilitate transactions. But the loan process is such a big part of the business, and many of you have not been trained in how to work with lenders. So that loan process checklist, what I would do if I was brand new to the business, I'd go ahead and print that out and have that readily available when you start working with buyers. And what you're looking for from the lender, and we'll kind of go through the bullet points today, is a lender referral, somebody that the client either knows or somebody that you have recommended to work with, because those are the best types of lenders. Some of the lenders that say they're going to do one thing, they promise things, and they end up not delivering on those promises. So one of the things you can do is when the client is getting financed or when you know that they're talking with a lender, you should get the buyer buy-in on a preferred lender and discuss the importance of the lender, and then set expectations about what kind of documents they're going to need to provide to that lender and the process. A brief outline is sufficient. But if you can start that from the moment you start talking about financing and you introduce a lender at that point in the discussion process, there's more of a chance, and I alluded to it last week, there's more of a chance that they're going to go with who you recommend, rather than going with somebody that they might have met off the street or they've got an ad that came in their mailbox. You're going to have more buy-in, and then you're going to have a little more control than if you were to use somebody that's not on the preferred list or not somebody you've worked with in the past. Most buyers, it's pretty simple to do that. I'll give you an example. I had a client I was working with. I was showing her properties. I actually had to pick her up and take her down to Shelton, a long drive. So we had a long time to talk from Tukwila to Shelton about the process, about her getting pre-approved. And she made the comment to me that she banks with Boeing Employees Credit Union, which is they have a good process. They have a system in place, and, they have a good, I've had friends that have received loans from Boeing Employees Credit Union. I'm just using this as an example. Anyway, so she had been working and talking with them at BECU. So as I'm discussing her, what she's looking for in a home, and we're really establishing, doing a buyer consultation, I understand she's working with BECU. And one of the things that you don't want to do as a new agent is just to think, oh, okay, great, they're working with their lender. You want to dig in and ask more questions about that lender and about that relationship, and find out what kind of information they've collected from her, what kind of experience she's had working with BECU in the home loan process. And what I understood from my discussions with my client was that she just banked with them for many years, had purchased a home with them about 15 years ago, And it went well, but not as good as she would have hoped. And I got more information, and I was able to understand that she would do better actually sitting down with somebody who can discuss with her and own not the entire process, not have somebody take the loan app, then somebody passes the ball to the processor, and then somebody passes the ball again to the underwriter, and it goes through, it bounces all the way around the ECU. She actually would have been better off using somebody that could handle the transaction from the beginning all the way to the end. And so that was an opportunity for me to introduce one of my preferred lenders, or one of the